chaos in classrooms, canceling student debt, and could a nuclear war be imminent? I'm Michelle Mortensen, and this is what you need to know right now, this Thursday, February the 4th. The fight to get kids back in the classroom is heating up all across the country.
It's about time.
First in California, the city of San Francisco is suing the school district because the district refuses to come up with a plan to reopen and would rather change the names of hundreds of schools in the district it finds offensive, like Abraham Lincoln High. Even the mayor of San Francisco, London Bream, who is very liberal, says this is an embarrassment.
The school board has alienated parents and made national news for their focus on renaming 44 of our schools, all while there wasn't a plan to reopen those very same schools.
Over in Los Angeles, parents are outraged that their kids still can't go to school to learn, but they can go to classrooms to make television.
What? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Yes, Apple TV got permission to film kids in classrooms for one of their shows.
That's ridiculous.
So it's safe for child actors to be in the classroom to pretend to learn, but not safe for kids who aren't actors to go to school and actually learn.
Wow, that makes no sense at all.
Then in Chicago, the teachers union refuses to come to the table to get kids in the classroom. And Mayor Lori Lightfoot is finally saying enough is enough and admitting this nonsense is hurting kids.
Enough is enough. We have everything more than to make that happen today. And we simply can't afford to wait any longer because our children cannot afford to wait any longer.
Now this story is going to take a very interesting turn because yesterday the head of the CDC told teachers it's safe to teach without the vaccine. Basically, it's not necessary.
That vaccination of teachers is not a prerequisite for safe reopening of schools.
And you know what? Getting teachers and kids back in the classroom is something scientists and experts have been saying needs to happen for a long time. But guess what? Circle back girl Jen Psaki said today that the scientists aren't really speaking facts, just their opinions.
Dr. Walensky spoke to this in her personal capacity. Obviously, she's the head of the CDC, but we're going to wait for the final guidance to come out so we can use that as a guide for schools around the country.
Now, if you're confused, you're not alone because these liberals have been telling us to follow the science and listen to the experts for 11 months now. And for 11 months, they've told us to not wear a mask, to wear a mask, to wear multiple masks, that it's safe to go to school, but not safe to cheer at the Super Bowl, that you're only safe in isolation, to not eat out, even though the science says it's safe, and even more conflicting information. And now the White House says the CDC is just giving their opinion?
It's nuts.
Seriously, you've been getting played this whole time in a game of political partisan chess. Remember that when your kids are way behind in their education, when you don't have the money to pay your taxes this year because unemployment put you in a higher tax bracket, when your rent is finally due and the eviction moratorium is lifted and you can't pay and you're out on the street. Remember it all, because November 2022 will be here before you know it.
Not fast enough.
Keeping with the education theme, members of the squad joined forces with Senators Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren today to reintroduce a resolution to cancel up to $50,000 of federal student loan debt. Believe it or not, this is problematic and actually won't do anything they're promising. Why? Well, first, forgiveness already exists.
It does.
Right now, with the system we currently have in place, payments for federal loans are based on your income. And after 25 years, your federal loan debt is forgiven. Currently, 27% of all federal loan borrowers are repaying direct loans through income-driven plans. So if we already have a forgiveness program, do we really need another one?
We don't, actually.
No, we don't.
Second, these liberals are always claiming this is going to help the poor, but that's also a lie. Federal loan debt forgiveness actually helps the wealthy. According to the University of Chicago's Becker-Friedman Institute for Economics, erasing all student loan debt would distribute $192 billion to the top 20% of earners in the U.S., but just $29 billion to the bottom 20% of U.S. earners. Under a universal loan forgiveness program, the average individual among the top earning borrowers would get more than $5,944 in forgiveness, while those with the lowest incomes would only get about $1,070. So this plan literally screws the poor and benefits the rich.
That is messed up.
Third, this plan doesn't help kids currently in college. It doesn't help anyone who actually paid off their loans. It really only helps adults in good paying jobs who made a choice to take out those loans and just don't want to pay them back. Let that sink in.
I'm so disappointed.
Moving on from education, let's talk about nuclear war.
What? Why?
The head of the U.S. military nuclear arsenal is saying the U.S. should prepare for nuclear war with Russia and China.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
So I bet you're wondering if the Biden administration's defense secretary agrees with all this. Well, we heard from the Pentagon press secretary, John Kirby, today. And let me tell you, this wordsmith is really going to put your mind at ease.
He views China as the biggest pacing challenge for this department. Nobody wants to see things.
I'm not sure he knows how to make a complete sentence.
No, I don't think so.
And I'm really certain if he's the spokesperson for the Pentagon, we're in trouble.
He sucks.
P.S. The U.S. nuclear missiles we have are more than 50 years old.
The bad news keeps on coming!
Now, this all happened today as President Biden gave his first foreign policy speech, where he said he is going to end U.S. support for Saudi-led offensive operations in Yemen, which some say is a huge gift to Iran. He's also stopping the withdrawal of troops in places like Germany. He said basically he's going to reverse the egregious policy that was America first, started by the Trump administration, adding, we need foreign policy for the middle class.
What does that mean?
Yet no one knows what that means, because helping the middle class would have to include things like, I don't know, opening up from these lockdowns, getting kids back in school, or maybe having the Keystone Pipeline open so we wouldn't be dependent on foreign oil from the Middle East and all suffering from higher gas prices. Oh, also, we wouldn't put thousands of good union workers out of work for green jobs that just don't exist.
Ain't that the truth?
Finally, I bet you're wondering what President Biden thinks about all of this major life-changing news that's been happening almost every single day since he was elected. Well, it looks like he's finally sitting down to an interview with the press.
It's about time.
But don't get too excited, because it's with those hard-hitting reporters over at People Magazine.
Gotta be kidding.
Yeah, this hard-hitting bit of journalism is going to air before the Super Bowl. And personally, I'm really looking forward to it, because I'm sure we will finally find out who Biden's favorite Kardashian is. Mine's Chloe.
Are you being serious?
Maybe we'll learn if he's a royal watcher and also disappointed that Harry married Meghan and how she has single-handedly destroyed the royal family more than Camilla ever could have.
So true.
Or maybe we'll find out who wore it better. The blue tie I'm talking about. Biden or Trump?
Really tough call.
I mean, the possibilities are truly endless here. And I am just so excited. He's finally agreed to be interviewed by a hard-hitting journalist who will ask all the important, tough questions of the leader of the free world.
You are hilarious.
And that's what you need to know right now. Remember, tune in every Monday through Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific for what you need to know. It's the news you need the way you want it. And tune in every Monday and Friday at noon for the Michelle Mortensen Show, where we do in-depth analysis on politics and pop culture. I'll see you next time.
Time to get real.